This is going to be video number 78 on your Firearms Defense channel. As happens once in a great while, some of the people who comment on my videos provide material for my other videos, and that's the case today. And today I want to thank Dalton Spadboy, it's spelled D-A-L-T-O-N-S-B-A-D-B-O-Y, and Nice Social Girl, which is spelled just the way it's written, and they both wrote in and commented on my videos, and that provides the material for today's video number 78. Now here's what Dalton Spadboy wrote. He wrote, "This is about my video number 46, Mr. Benelli." His first comment was, "I hope when you go you learn to keep your weapon on safe when you're not using it and it's loaded with one in the chamber. It's the right thing to do." Then he left another comment, the second one here. "Not having it on safety is retarded. Even if you don't have visitors and live alone, you should keep your weapon on safety. Hell, you have one in a chamber. If it gets bumped or falls down, you have the potential of your weapon going off. You may cause injury to yourself, but worse," well, yeah, injury to myself is okay, but worse, you may be jeopardizing other people's life. Taking it off safety can happen as soon as you pick up your weapon. It takes no time at all. I suspect you keep your finger on the trigger also. You need training." Okay, well, there's several issues here that I want to address that he brought up. First of all, he doesn't have a clear understanding of the program here. That shotgun is kept in the corner, very well restrained, by the way. I have blocks of foam around it to keep it from falling over. It's not going to fall over in the first place, but that shotgun is kept in the corner specifically in the event of a home invasion. Now here's what he doesn't understand. He talks about keeping it on safety. Now if somebody kicks in your door at 3 a.m., you're not going to have time to go over and retrieve your weapon and pick it up, and you're not going to remember to click the safety off when you have to start shooting. All you're going to have time for, if that happens, you're going to have time to pick up your weapon and start shooting, if you're lucky. Maybe you'll have that much time. But I guarantee you, in a stress situation like that, and that's the ultimate stress situation, when people break into your home at 3 a.m. in the morning to kill you, that's the ultimate stress situation. You're not going to pick your weapon up, and you're not going to click the safety off. You're going to pick it up, you're going to press the trigger, and nothing's going to happen, and they're going to kill you. And then they'll take whatever they want out of your house, and somebody will not see you in 3 days, and they'll call the police, and they'll call the coroner, and they'll bag and tag your body, and that's going to be the end of that. So that's the first thing. That's the program here. That's why the shotgun is kept in the corner with the safety off and loaded and ready to go. In fact, if your weapons aren't in a combat ready condition and they're not ready to go, they're useless to you. Now here's the second one. The idea of my weapon falling over and going off is totally ridiculous. Contrary to what our liberal friends tell us, guns do not go off by themselves and kill people. Someone has to press the trigger. I mean, hell, if that were the case, there'd probably be thousands of deaths a year in the United States from guns going off for no reason at all. It's not like they have a mind of their own and they can think and they decide, oh, I'll just go off and kill this person. That just isn't going to happen. So that's not going to happen. I mean, the modern firearm has all sorts of built-in safety features that preclude this happening. And he said not having it on safety is retarded. Well, I always assumed the best of people, and I assumed that wasn't a personal attack on me, calling me retarded, because hell, I worked 40 years in the airline industry for Trans World Airlines as a maintenance mechanic, and I went to school and got an A&P license, and I function very well. I'm 65 years old and I'm financially secure. So I sincerely hope he doesn't think that I'm retarded. If he thinks this actor's retarded, that's okay. He's entitled to his opinion. And by the way, I also have 5 certificates from Front Sight, so I know a little bit about firearm safety and what you're supposed to do anyway. Now, I spoke about having to have your weapon in a combat-ready condition in a stress situation. Now, as some of you who live in California and the neighboring states may be aware, we have what's called open carry here, and it's caused a great deal of controversy. And what happens is, inevitably, the open carry people go into Starbucks carrying their weapons, and about 5 minutes later they're surrounded by the police, and the police hassle them and all this sort of thing. And it's just a bread and circuses type thing and all that. But here's the thing with open carry. I think open carry is fairly useless because 30 feet is considered the critical distance in a stress combat situation. And if somebody's going to stab you on the street or whatever, they're probably going to be 5 feet away. So you're not going to have time to pull your weapon out of its holster, jam a magazine in, rack the slide and shoot this person. That isn't going to happen. So I think open carry is more of a more of a bread and circuses for the masses issue than anything else. Okay, so that covers my reply to Dalton's bad boy on Mr. Benelli here. Let's see. Okay, the other one I have here is regarding video number 34 that I made, Killing in Self-Defense, from a nice social girl. Now, her name, her YouTube moniker just about says it all. I mean, it's pretty much what you would expect a title for a liberal to be, and what she wrote is pretty much what you would expect a liberal to write. Now, you have to remember, what I'm talking about here is a home invasion at 3 a.m. by criminal predators, and she's making an entirely different set of assumptions here. She wrote one of her writings. We had extensive correspondence on video 34 if you want to check it out. She wrote here, 1, they aren't always there to kill you. Number 2, don't kill people for breaking in. Number 3, have you tried non-lethal or less lethal weapons? Taser, bullets, grenades. 4, don't shoot weapons directed at places where it could hurt physically peaceful, unarmed, or people unidentified as armed, or places you don't know if there is people there or not. Thanks. Okay, well, I want to address these issues one at a time. Number 1, they aren't always there to kill you. Why else would somebody break into your home at 3 a.m. in the morning if they aren't there to kill you? You can't assume that. That's a dangerous assumption to make. That'll get you killed. That'll earn you a call from the coroner, and he'll bag and tag your body and the body of your family members if you're unfortunate enough to have family members. She says, number 2, don't kill people for breaking in. Well, you know, if they don't want to be killed, don't break in. It's just that simple. I've got signs on my door that I have ADT. I've got cable locks inside my door that make it difficult to break down the door. If people don't want to get killed, don't break into my house at 3 a.m. despite my ADT security signs and the cable locks on my door. And, you know, they're there to keep people out. I don't want people breaking into my house. Number 3, have you tried non-lethal or less lethal weapons? Taser, bullets, grenades. Hell, 2 to center mass don't work all the time. I mean, for Christ's sake, that's why they have us train at Front Sight all day long in the hot sun for 8 hours a day, 4 days, 4-day handgun. 2 to center mass, 1 to the ocular cranial cavity, because 2 to center mass don't always stop people. And I'm talking about a large caliber handgun weapon, a .40 caliber or bigger. Now, she's talking about tasers and grenades. Those things are jokes. I'm sure any police officer who's had any time on the force can tell you a lot of stories about times tasers didn't stop people, you know, or people on drugs and non-lethal force don't stop them and stuff like that. And here's the thing now, I don't want to bet my life on something that's non-lethal because, you know, the odds of lethal force working aren't 100%, so you don't want to stake your life on anything less than that. Number 4 here, don't shoot weapons directed at places where it could hurt physically peaceful, unarmed, or people identified as unarmed, or places you don't know if there is people there or not. Well, that's a moot point. If somebody breaks into my house at 3 a.m. and I shoot them, I know what I'm shooting at. It's not a big deal. And a .45 caliber hollow point pistol round isn't going to go through 3 walls and kill somebody half a mile away or anything like that. So that's not going to be a problem. So all these things that she addresses are just about how you would expect a liberal to think. Now, here's the last thing I want to bring up. Now, my YouTube channel here, Firearms Defense, really, it has to be taken as a whole. Somebody may watch a video sometime or other and take something entirely out of context and make a point, you know, of something. I have 78 videos up there. It has an overall theme to it, and really the whole thing has to be taken in the context of the 78 videos. Now, here's my own personal feelings about everything. Number 1, even though I've made these videos about how to prevent violence and what to do if violence happens to you, my number 1 thing is I avoid violence. You do that by having a decent job and living in a relatively safe neighborhood and stuff like that, and stay out of bad areas and you stay out of bars. So my number 1 thing is to avoid violence. Number 2 is diffuse the situation. If I'm out on the street and somebody pulls a knife or a gun on me and all they want is $100 I have on me, I'll give it to them. Just take my $100, just go away, you know, and let's both live another day. So those are the 2 primary things I want to do. I want to avoid and I want to diffuse. So I'm not some right-wing fanatic, you know, that's out here, you know, and advocating violence for every solution. Now, number 3, if it does get to violence, if they decide, well, you know, I got your $100, now I'm going to cut you up anyway, well, then I'm going to pull the guy's eyeballs out of his head. I'm going to crush his groin. I'm going to break every bone in his body from the top of his head down to his toes, and I'm going to unscrew his head and shit down his neck because there's nothing else left to do. And then you've either got to step up to the plate and kill or be killed, and hope things work out for the best. So anyway, that concludes video number 78 on your Firearms Defense channel, and I'll see you real soon on video number 79.